Hello, everyone. I'm Stephen McCauley. I'm superintendent at Paris Independent Schools, and I'm here with Chuck Redwine, and we were going to do a brief segment on personal finance and what some people can do with the stimulus check that might be coming in or have already received. So, Chuck, you're a Paris High graduate. Can you tell us, are you okay with telling us what year that was and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I was graduate of the class of 1987. Had a great experience at Paris, and my son goes to Paris now, and he's having a good experience.
Can you tell us why you got into banking and what your role is right now?
Well, originally I got into banking. I got out of school 1991 and didn't know what I wanted to do. And Mr. Bill Alverson hired me at Fifth Third Bank as a teller and worked there for 9 years before following him and joining a guy that I was good friends with in college at Traditional Bank, and worked in Mount Sterling for 5 years, and then came to Paris when we opened the branch up here. My role now is a market leader and senior vice president. Do a little bit of everything from picking up trash in the parking lot to making loans. So it's been good to me, and the bank's been good to us and good to the community, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll echo that. We're very thankful in the Paris School District for the support our local banks give to the district. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for being on here. Let's go ahead and jump into the content. Chuck, so tell us, if someone's just starting out with very little savings, little to no savings, and maybe not even have a checking account, what's something that they could do with those with the windfall of stimulus money?
Well, the first thing I would recommend is sitting down and doing a budget and trying to figure out what your expenses are going to be for the next 3 to 6 months so that you can get through these tough times that we're in. I've seen different budgeting models. One that I looked at was it encouraged you to put 30% of the money just to cover your basic needs such as food, rent, etc. 25% of it on paying debts. Car payment, you got to still get to work once we get everybody gets back working every day. 20% for saving for the short term in case you have things come up. 15% for investing in the long term, and then 10% for just going out and having some fun and splurging on something you might want to buy. And in that case, I would encourage people to try to shop local if you can, because we've got a lot of small business owners here in town that, they've been closed for a while. So it would be good to try to give them some business as they open back up.
All right. Well, I like where you said that it's okay to spend some money on yourself there, to splurge, if you will, a little bit, but it's good to have a purpose with the majority of the money. So I love the idea of setting aside a budget for that windfall to make sure that money goes as far as you can make it go. Next up, let's say you have a checking account and you've built up you've paid off some of your debts. What are some things that you might look to do when you don't have a safety net per se?
Well, I would, make sure you've got the 6 months worth of savings. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I'd make sure you have the 6 months worth of savings or more if you can. Right now is a great time if you want to invest in some blue chip stocks. A lot of those have gone down over the last 2 months. Paying off credit card debt, paying down on your mortgage, all that's going to save you some money.
Right. Very good.
One thing I did want to talk about is if you think that you're going to be late on your rent or your mortgage or have issues, to call your bank or call your landlord. And most banks and landlords are, they're working with people right now.
Right.
Because one, the banks aren't into the real estate business. So it's in everybody's best interest if we all try to work together on this.
Absolutely. That's a great pointer for making sure if you do find yourself in hard times to reach out and ask for help. So thanks.
Yes, sir. I know a lot of landlords are, they're doing payment plans where maybe you make it up at some point or add it on to your rent, or maybe you pay 2 or 3 months when you get your stimulus check.
Right. And I know the city of Paris suspended any penalties for late payments. I know they did that on some of their utilities. So we're thankful for that as well.
Yes, sir.
So any last tips, closing words that you would say for, especially a young person or young family that has this windfall, just reiterating that making a budget and trying to have a plan for your money, I think is absolutely the key to making the most out of it.
Yeah, I read one article that was talking about giving every dollar you get a job. So making sure you got it working for you in some area. And one thing, if people don't have a checking or savings account, this would be a great time to open one. Even if you just want to set that money in that savings account till you decide what you need it for and what job you're going to give it to. There's 4 banks in town. We'd be happy to do it, or any of them would be happy to do it. But I think everybody does have their drive-through their lobby closed right now. So
right.
You can probably either call and give them your information and then come through the drive-through. But we'll all work with you in one form or another.
Cool. Well, I want to thank you once again, Chuck Redwine, class of 1987 from Paris High School, for taking some time to discuss some things that we can do to be smart with this windfall of stimulus checks that we're receiving over the next few days. And like I said, we're thankful for you and for what Traditional Bank and all the local banks do to support our school systems and our families, and know that we're all in this together. So thank you for your time and for coming on.
Well, I'd like to thank you all too for the great job you do with the kids in our community and all that you do for them.
Cool. Well, thank you very much.
All right. Have a good day.
You too.